Hey everyone, my name is Lily. I'm the book blogger behind Utopia State of Mind, and today I'm going to share with you my 6 favorite middle grade reads from 2021. So I only have 6 to share with you today, and I only have two of them in person with me, which is really funny because this is actually the sequel and then a graphic novel. So anyway, let's just chat about it. I'm gonna chat about these in the order. I think that I did this chronologically, just from what I see on my sheet. And so let's start off with The Comeback. The Comeback is a middle grade ice skating story. So basically, I think that I had read a very disappointing ice skating YA. And then I kind of was like, hey, I need more ice skating recommendations. And then I randomly, the next month, stumbled across The Comeback. It is a middle grade debut about a young girl trying to be a figure skating champion. So it's 12-year-old Maxine Chen. She is in middle school, but also training to be an ice skater, or, you know, a competitive ice skating person. And so she also is dealing with a bully who is bullying her for being Chinese. And at the rink, she also is facing competition from a new skater. So she's facing both of these different things. And so she's thinking about her comeback, right? There were a lot of different things that I loved about The Comeback. First of all, figure skating. Like, if you have any other figure skating recommendations, please drop them below because I'm always looking for figure skating books. I think one of the things that I love the most about figure skating is that it just seems to be something that I enjoy doing, but like something I could never do professionally, right? Just this idea about jumping on the ice, just not something that I could do. Having her being bullied for her Chinese heritage resonated really closely to me for obvious reasons. And so it really gave me like middle grade feels, I guess. And so many of these experiences while reading just felt like they were ripped from my child/teen years. You know, she talks a little bit about double eyelid tape, and I was like, seriously considering buying double eyelid tape when I was younger. So it's about those kinds of experiences that really rooted me to the story, but as well, The Comeback is a story about friendship and about skating and like personal expectations and sort of how you can find friendship and not alliances, but you know, friendship in these situations. The next one is All You Need Is Love. This one was super, super cute because there was an element of cooking/bakery. I can't remember if it was like a cooking or a bakery, or she likes to cook. So basically, 12-year-old Alba does not want to live with her estranged grandmother in Barcelona, but then her mom needs to take a trip. And so she sends Alba to her mother, to her mother, but to Alba's grandmother in Barcelona. And then in Barcelona, Alba gets to know her grandmother. That was obviously super, super sweet. And she ends up making a lot of friends. Oh, I remember what it is. It's not that Alba's grandmother is in a bakery. Like, one of the friends that she's meeting, I'm pretty sure he has a bakery, which is why in the front cover there is Alba with a bakery. So I think what I really loved about this one is not only Alba having this relationship with her grandmother and then meeting all of these different people in Barcelona and the side characters and the side character stories, but what I also really loved about this one was that Alba's relationship with her mom is complex and at the same time very important conversation to have. So basically, the reason that she is sent to live with her grandmother is because Alba's mom is trying to leave Alba's abusive father. And so that's kind of the storyline, but you know, reading it from an adult perspective, reading it through a middle grade lens, you can see that there are things that like Alba doesn't really understand, and the grandmother as well. So I thought that aspect of the story was really important. And it's also kind of paralleled Alba's sort of sense of family beforehand with these new family relationships or family friendships, or found family, I guess, that she is creating in Barcelona. All in all, it's just super touching and I really loved it. And also I really loved like the whole bakery thing because I think it'd be kind of cool to be in a bakery. So the next one is Seance Tea Party. This was actually recommended to me by CW for last year's 12 Friends 12 Books project. This graphic novel is so adorable. I was so happy to like read a graphic novel for this challenge. Basically, it is what is the main character's name? Laura. Sorry, the two characters are Laura and Alexa. So Laura is determined to have a lot of fun. She's like trying to figure out this new kind of in-between space between being like a kid and being a teen. And so Laura wants to like get out of that space, but then she has a tea party and meets Alexa, who's a ghost which haunts her house. And so it's really interesting and so well done actually in Seance Tea Party how there's this juxtaposition between Alexa, who will always be a kid because she is a ghost kid, and then Laura, who is trying to figure out how to like get out of this space. There's so many different like symbolisms and ways that this theme is discussed and represented in a variety of different ways in this graphic novel, and that makes that theme just even more prominent and even more hard-hitting, or even more important. It's kind of difficult how to describe it, but it makes it even more impactful, I guess. This dichotomy between growing up and also staying a kid, and like when you're growing up too soon, what does that mean for you as a person? All of these things are kind of reflected in this graphic novel, which obviously has a fantasy twist because this is a ghost. The ending of this was just so perfect. I loved it so much. And this is just one of these books now that I'm always going to recommend to people who really love middle grade graphic novels, and specifically like an upper middle grade kind of graphic novel. The next one is the Tea Dragon Tapestry. This is a sequel, so the Tea Dragon series is kind of loosely all connected. It's not necessarily a direct sequel. Basically, the whole gist of this book is that in this world there are tea dragons, and they're these little cute like tiny dragon kind of things, and they have this bond with like their, I don't want to say handler because they're not really, they're more than pets, right? They have this bond with humans, and the whole thing kind of revolves around not only tea but also these like tea dragon things. And so in the Tea Dragon Tapestry, which is the conclusion to the Tea Dragon series also, there is just so much cute merch for the Tea Dragon series with like little plushies and pins. So cute. But anyway, this is the conclusion to the Tea Dragon series, and so I'm trying to read the synopsis to see if there's anything that I can talk about, which is, I'm not sure what is a spoiler or not because I don't remember the names of the characters from the first one and the second one because it's been a while since I read it. But I think what you should be expecting if you want to read the Tea Dragon series, which I would highly recommend, is that the art style is gorgeous. The tea dragons are just cute like forever. They will be cute at the beginning and the end of reading. And the art style for the Tea Dragon series is so detailed and whimsical and also so colorful. I think the color work and the graphic style here are one of my two favorite reasons that I really love the Tea Dragon series, but also it's one of those ones which, one of those series slash graphic novels which doesn't shy away from having panels that don't have a lot of dialogue in them, that kind of tell more of a vibe or an atmosphere, or even just are able to convey things without words, which I think is so fabulously done in the Tea Dragon series. And so I think this definitely should appeal to not only people who really love fantasy middle grade graphic novel series, but also those who really appreciate detailed, stunning artwork at the same time. The next one is Ava Evergreen and the Cursed Witch, which is the other one that I have. This is a sequel to Ava Evergreen Semi-Magical Witch. So I'm going to read the synopsis because, as I said, I don't want to spoil it. Basically, Ava Evergreen and Semi-Magical Witch, though, just to talk about that a little bit, it gives me Serious Kiki's delivery service vibe. So if you like that, you just should order that book right now. It definitely, in the first one, deals a lot with Ava's being not sure how she can like be a witch, you know, from the title Semi-Magical. In that one, it's really focused on Ava's journey, not only as a character, but also journey with her own magical powers and the way that her powers manifest, and trying to figure out like how she can see herself in relation to her powers. And in the sequel, Ava Evergreen and the Cursed Witch is, okay, the first sentence has a spoiler for, I guess, most of the plot of the second one, but basically in Ava Evergreen and the Cursed Witch, it's just a really fun sequel which how do I say this? It's a really fun sequel, which certainly keeps developing Ava's character and Ava's relationship to her family and also to her magic. I guess that's really all I'm going to say. Anyway, though, if you really love this idea of having to figure out this like gray area between, you know, magical power and between having no magical power and ways to kind of solve situations that require a flexibility in magical abilities and a little bit of, you know, grace in the fact that, you know, not everyone's going to come to a problem with the same amount of skills, and does that make their magic or value as a witch any less important? Definitely love this series so much, and it's also one of my go-to recommendations. I think the Kiki's delivery service, or is it Kiki's? Yeah, Kiki's delivery service comparison is spot on. Sometimes it's really hard to nail these comparisons, but that one is like amazingly kind of on point. And the final one that I read was Hurricane Child. Hurricane Child came out, let's see, in 2018, so a while ago, but I just ended up reading it last year because I don't remember, I think I maybe read it for like a backlist bookworms pick. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. It was not at all what I was expecting. So basically, Hurricane Child is about Caroline Murphy. She is born during a hurricane, which is supposedly unlucky, but then she has another kind of hurricane storm within the book. So basically, she is bullied by everyone in her small community, and she also can see a spirit which won't stop following her. And also her mother left and is not, you know, never coming back. So those are kind of, you know, issues. But then when a new student arrives named Kalinda, Caroline thinks that Kalinda will be a really good friend for her and that everyone will sort of like her and her popularity will go up. But then she also starts to develop a crush. So Caroline, I've been saying Carolina. Caroline has to find the strength to confront not only her feelings for Kalinda, but also there's that spirit, which, you know, still there. She also needs to figure out why her mother abandoned her, which is obviously a very sore spot. And then there's also a storm, a hurricane, in the middle of all of that kind of reckoning, I guess. So what I really loved about Hurricane Child is that it's super emotional. It's this emotional middle grade about loss and family and truth. I felt like that loss, initially that loss of her mother and not knowing why and all of those feelings and that grief, it just like hit me really hard. And also like the bullying that she is encountering, those are also really, like this was heart-wrenching, Hurricane Child. Also, I felt like as I was reading the ending, I could see all of these threads that Kaysen had kind of created and was tying together, and I felt like at the end I really had to take a step back and appreciate, just from a sheer writing perspective, what the plot and the events kind of were leading to in terms of pacing and development. Like from a writing perspective, I thought that Hurricane Child was really great, which is why I was like, yes, I love that I finally read it. Caroline is just so empathetic and relatable in the fact that when you don't have these answers, it is so unsettling and destabilizing, and then empathetic because there's just so much that she's going through with her, you know, her budding crush and her like queer questioning, and also with the bullying and just like all that stuff. And it's just like you feel just so tied to her and tied to reading her story. I definitely see why there's all the hype over Hurricane Child, and I guess I'm just here to say you should believe the hype. I'm glad that I did, and I really liked Hurricane Child. So that brings me to the end of all of my 6 top middle grade reads of 2021. I know that I've already posted the video about all the middle grade series and books that I want to read in 2022. I have read one, and it is almost the end of February / the end of February. So that's awkward. But anyway, I hope that you have a really great day. As I said, please leave me middle grade recommendations and also figure skating recommendations. And I hope to see you in the next part of this 2021 series, favorite series. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.